Kia ora team, welcome to Compensation Stage 6. So you should have already watched the Stage 5 video, which gives you the basic strategy. In Stage 6, I'm just going to make it a little bit harder by making 3-digit numbers in the problem, and also by making a super tidy number, which we'll talk about very shortly. Okay, let's get straight into it with our first example problem. Let's say I had 318 something or others, and I wanted to add on an additional 256. Now, straight away, I can see that 8 and the 6 is going to cross 10. If it didn't cross 10, it would probably be faster to use place value partitioning. At this point, it's probably good to talk about when do we use these strategies. Why do we learn so many different strategies? Well, the main reason is because each strategy will be the most efficient strategy in a different situation. So sometimes, if I go back and I made that 251, there's no way you should be using compensation, because really quickly I can see that 3 plus 2 is 5, 1 plus 5 is 6, and 8 plus 1 is 9. Use place value partitioning, and I've got the answer 569, right? But as soon as we cross 10, as soon as we cross a 10 like that, like now, we have that 8 and the 6, which is 14, and then that starts to make other things a bit more confusing. You can still do it using place value partitioning, but at this point, I think it's better to use compensation. All right, let's use compensation. So I'm going to round one of these numbers to a nice tidy number. I'm going to choose 318. I'm going to plus 2 onto 318, which will turn it into 320 plus 256. Now, by doing that, we get rid of that crossing 10. We no longer have to cross 10, which makes it much easier for us to do in our head. All right, 300 plus 200 is 500. 50 and 20 is 70. And 0 and 6 is 6. And then the last thing we need to remember to do, we plussed 2 at the start, so we have to minus 2 at the end, which gives us our final answer of 574. That's the correct answer there. Okay, 574. Now, what about a super tidy number? I told you about that before. Sometimes the number is pretty close to a super tidy number. So this time, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to change this number. Let's pretend it was 682. Now, if I plussed 8 to this number, that would take it to 690, right? But 690 is so close to 700. So if I plus 18 to this number, then we have 700. Now, that's really easy to add. 700 plus 256, which is 956, and then we would take off the 18 at the end. Now that's, to be perfectly honest, now that I look at it a second time, that's a little bit tricky because we have to cross that 10 there. So in this instance, probably wouldn't have been the best example to make a super tidy number. Maybe it needed to be a bit closer. Most of the time we only need to round a single number, like here when we plus 2. But sometimes it does make sense. I'll try and think of a better example. Let's see if I can do it. Alright, I thought of a better example for super tidy numbers. Let's do 389 plus 177. So in this case, I'm going to make that first number the tidy number. If I plussed 1 to this number, then it would make it 390. But 390 is really close to 400, right? So if I plus 11 to this number, then I would end up with 400. Bear with me for a second. Right, 400 plus 177, that's really easy because 400 and 100 is 500, and the 77 is just going to stay where it is. Now we see the example that works. We plussed 11 at the start, so what do we have to do at the end? We have to minus 11. And because we don't have to cross a 10 here, that's really easy. What's 77 minus 11? 66. So our final answer is going to be 566 using the super tidy number. Now, a wee word on super tidies, you don't have to do them. If I had just plussed 1 back up here at the start, plus 1, then that would have turned this into 390. And we could have still solved it from there. Let's see what that works like. 300 plus 100 is 400. But here you see the problem. 90 plus 70 is 160. And 0 and 7 is 7. So now I have to carry that extra 1. I have to do this extra step that I didn't have to do when I made a super tidy number. That's the advantage. Right, we're going to leave it there. What I want you to do now is go and try some of the follow-up problems that are on the exercise and have a go at making some of them with normal tidy numbers and some of them with super tidy numbers. Best of luck. You'll need to do the working out on a piece of paper or in a book that you have around at home. Alright guys, see you later, and if you feel like you can manage, you can try the decimals next, which is the stage 7 video. Good luck guys, ka kite.